Hi, I'm Maciej from EONA talking about data loss prevention. Today we will talk about monitoring our infrastructure with Zabbix. So when we have our infrastructure like servers, routers, storages, network and stuff like that, we need to monitor that. We need to know if our services are working. We want to know how it is utilized, how our storage is utilized, how our network is utilized, the CPU, the RAM. We can monitor all of that, or temperature, or whatever we can measure and change into digit. We can monitor that. All of that values could be changed into graph to make it easy to analyze. On the end, if some value will be out of our expected range, we can inform ourselves via SMS, via any kind of communication. With the pros, it's quite easy to auto-configure. I will show how to do that. It's quite universal, so we can quite easy monitor most of platforms like Windows or Linuxes. In most cases, when something is on Linux, most likely you will be able to install Zabbix there and easily monitor that system. Even if you are not able to put there the Zabbix because it's not on the Linux, for example, you always can use old good SNMP. Also with pros, it's open source, it's free solution, and it have quite good community support. So most likely when you will find any kind of problem, probably it's already resolved and you can find it in network. Disadvantage, it could be quite heavy. When you will add on automated configuration couple tens of devices, probably your monitor system will have a hiccup. I will show how to deal with that. In this material, I will show how to install Zabbix on Docker Compose. I will show how to install Agent on Linux and on Windows. And on the end, we will start auto configuration and when we see how it looks like with Zabbix. All of that a little bit later, but first, sponsored part.
If you need our support in designing, implementing or maintaining infrastructure related to virtualization, remote access or TrueNAS storage, feel free to contact us. If you don't need our support but you like what we do, like and subscribe, you know the drill. Thanks, and now let's get back to the technical details.
Before we will start, let's take a look how Zabbix is organized from infrastructure perspective. Please notice that we have Zabbix server, but we will not log in to web browser to that Zabbix server. We will log in to the Zabbix frontend. It's a separate part. Also separate parts is database. Database could be MySQL or Postgres. Frontend could be based on Nginx and on Apache also. So if we have our Zabbix server, please notice that if Zabbix went down, our web console will partly working, or if something will broke with our web frontend, our Zabbix server will work in the background. That's cool. So our Zabbix server will monitor our agents, Windows or Linux or SNMP, or will ping something, or will measure whatever you need to measure, whatever need to be measured. And that's how it works. Also, additionally, we have something like the Zabbix proxy. In example, when we have, for example, two data centers, and we don't want to open that flow between data centers. We want to open, for example, only one IP in that data center. Also, we want to avoid all that traffic that flowed between those data centers. Our Zabbix server will use Zabbix proxy to monitor devices in the second data center. That's quite an interesting solution especially for bigger environments. Okay, let's install Zabbix. we have a Docker Compose installed. We are going to documentation of Zabbix, 5 installation from containers. This is how to install containers, but we need to Docker Compose to be precise. Let's use that one. So we are cloning repository, git clone repository, and go. It will do that in the background. We will use git checkout 7.4 cd. Let's change the folder, and we will check out to version 7.4. Let's take a look. So a lot of files was downloaded. We have a lot of a couple of possible version to start. Please take a look. We have a bunch of configuration. For example, depend on what we will use in the background. For example, we can use Alpine, we can use CentOS, we can use Oracle Linux, and we can use Ubuntu. This is on what Zabbix will be built. We also can choose the MySQL or Postgres in all cases, and the last we want to use latest. That means that images will be downloaded. The newest images will be downloaded from repo, or we can build it locally if we need. In my case, I will use Docker Compose F. This means file. I will choose this one. It depends on you what you need. You like more Alpine or CentOS or whatever. And file. So Docker Compose F file and up will spin up all infrastructure. Before I will do that, -D to do it in the background in the version of detached. Before we will start, there is something like environment. Let's talk about that a little bit. For example, if we want to choose the version, we can change it here. Version of Alpine or CentOS or MySQL database, we can choose it or change it here. If we will need to change the ports, because every container will attach a port to himself. If we want to change it, we can change it here. In cases, sometimes it's possible that the network will overlap, and we could have problem in that case. For example, if you will have that IP range in your network, probably Zabbix will have a problem to reach to that network, because he will assume that he have it locally, and that could potential problems. In that case, you are able to change that IP ranges in here. This is most crucial part. So, data directory, zabbix-env. We don't have it here yet. It will auto build it. We will take a look at that in the moment. But before we will spin up our infrastructure, let's take a look at that folder. So, environments. If we want to add additional variables to our containers, we can do it here. To MySQL or to whatever we want to add, we want to do it here. But please notice that if we will spin up like that, it will leave with that passwords. So it's definitely not what we want to do. So before spin it up, please, in any kind of production, change that. This is our crucial folder. This is the first one. To change it before spin it up. And please take a look. If we will spin it up, let's go. It will take a while. Let's say now database is spinning up. It will take a moment, but please notice that zabbix-env. have just created. We have all data what we need to backup, all data what we need to be focused. It is in this folder. MySQL data, Zabbix configuration as itself, all is here. So if we consider any kind of backup or data loss prevention, we need to focus on that two folders. First, environment variables and Zabbix and env. In the meantime, probably it will start. Let's take a look what's going on in the background in containers. We can see that Oracle is spinning up. There is Zabbix server, it's spinning up. Probably it will take a moment. Okay, it's done. Zabbix server is spinning up. Now the front end it's starting. It will work in a moment. Let's install Zabbix Agent on our Windows 11. Here we have Windows VM. Let's do like that. Zabbix download agent Windows, and we will go here to zabbix.com, Zabbix Agents, source. Oh, okay, yeah, Zabbix Agents. And Windows 10 or 11, AD64, version of Zabbix, OpenSSL, MSI, and Zabbix Agent 2. Let's download it. Let's open it. And let's install it. Next. Okay, we need to agree, that's obvious, and next. We will go next one, and here we have something important. We need to put here IP of our Zabbix server. In my case, it will be something like that in both of Windows. Okay, port. I suggest to leave it. In most cases, Zabbix agent listen on that port 10,050. For this particular case, we will go forward. But in production, we should consider at least enable pressured K for communication. But for now, we will go install. Please remember that for now, only limitation of kind of security is that IP, that Zabbix agent will allow only servers from that IP which we put a minute ago. Like I mentioned, better solution, pressured K implementation. But for this base scenario, we will go forward with the basic setup. Okay, to be honest, that's it on the Windows side. Let's try to install it on our Linux. To do that, Zabbix.com, agents, Debian Trixie in my case, agent 2, no database, and we will have quite clear information what to do to install it. Let's do that. First, let's install repository. We need to download the file. We need to install downloaded file. That's it. We need to do update to update repositories to read the new repositories. And perfect. For now, we just want to install Zabbix 2. Let's click it. This is Debian 13, by the way, quite fresh. Okay, it is downloading. It is installing now. Okay, it's installed. But to be sure that all will work, we need to do that. So we need to start services. it's necessary. What more? If we will restart our operation system, it will not start. We need to do it enabled to be sure that after restart, the service will be up. Okay, it is downloaded, installed, and we are sure that it will be functional after the reboot. Additional thing, we need to set the same source IP like on the Windows. So let's do that. In that case, I already put it here. So it is my IP of the server, of the Zabbix server. Okay, so we have installed both systems, Windows, agent on Windows and agent on Linux. Okay, now let's log in into Zabbix and let's add our new host to monitoring. User, admin, password, Zabbix. Of course, necessary to change it. Not now. Okay, it's our default dashboard. It's nice. We have the top CPU users. We have information about Zabbix as itself. We have current problems. For now, we have only one thing by default configured. It's Zabbix as itself. So nothing more yet. Let's add our hosts. So monitoring hosts. Okay, we have only Zabbix. What we will do? We will create a host. Let's name it Win11. We have visible name. It depends. In my case, it depends on you. I will leave it like that. Templates. Templates is the most important thing in Zabbix. Every time when you create a host, it is created based on some template to avoid situation that we need to configure every host interfaces, processor, RAM, etc., etc. All we need to do is show the template based on which the host will be added. Let's do that. Windows. Template will be Windows by Zabbix Agent. Group host. You cannot add host without group. In my case, it will be Windows. You can use existing one or of course new your own. I will use this one. We will need add interface. Like I mentioned, we could monitor on various way. For example, SNMP or agent. We will use, of course, agent. In here we need to add the IP of our Windows. This will be it in my case. If you changed something in port, you can change it here. By default, it's exactly this one. So, host name, visible name, templates, host group, agent, interface with the agent. That's it. Adding the host. Okay, let's add our Debian also. Create a host. Deb13, the same template. Let's use this one. You can see that we have also templates using SNMP, for example, but we will use Zabbix Agent. Also host group, Linux, let's use Linux server. The same, we need to add interface and IP agent. Port leave like this. Let's add server monitoring is enabled. Okay, we can see that in case of Windows, Zabbix already noticed that this is that the Zabbix is enabled, and he reached it, and Zabbix agent is available. It's working. Please, you can notice that for this host, an example for this Windows, 3 dashboard was created, 12 graphics, problems not yet. problems wasn't created. It's just informations about problems. Latest data 110. So, okay, in the meantime, Debian also, it's working. So we can see what do we have here. So let's take a look on those dashboards based on Windows. Let's open it. We can see that it's important. You can look in the last 5 minutes or 1 hour, a week, and so on and so on. You can choose what you want to see. So example first, dashboard for Windows. We can see user C disks utilization. So we can see that 40% is utilized. That's cool. We can see the graph in time. That's perfect. Let's see another dashboard for this host. It's network interfaces. So probably we will see, we don't see any data yet. It is ongoing. We just created it. So if we will have additional interfaces, we will see all of them here. Next dashboard, system performance. It could take a while to read first data. Okay, we can see it one by one. Okay, so CPU utilization, memory utilization, swap utilization, and once again, disk utilization, disk read and write rates. It could be important. Disk utilization, network utilization. Yeah. So, okay. We already saw 3 dashboards. What else we have? It automatically, our template automatically generate 12 graphs for this host. Let's see them. We should see here all our graphs. Okay. About disks, about C disks. Okay, cool. Utilization, interfaces, Ethernet, CPU, and so on and so on. Once again, all our graphs for this particular host. What else we've got here? By default, out of the box, latest data. So we can see what exactly data are gathered about this host. We can see, for example, once again, all those data in figures. Caches, CPU, swap, disk space, interface utilization, and so on and so on. You can see that, for example, we have average disk queue length, and also last check was 30 seconds ago. That is the value. This is the change since last read. We can get back to the hosts. Okay, we see the hosts, we see all what was created by default. Let's get back to our dashboard. And this time in dashboard, we also see those 2 servers which we have configured. We can see on the server performance, we can see that when nothing was configured, only 1 values per second was performed. After we configured 2 of servers, we have peaked to 4 value per second. Of course it's not a lot, but please remember that we will multiply that by amount of servers which we will add there. So okay, so automatically we have created dashboard, interfaces, and all those good stuff. How it is possible, how it's happening in the background, I will show you. Like I mentioned, all of those is because of templates. We have the list of the templates. Let's focus on that one. This is our template responsible for creation Zabbix agent. when we are using template Linux by Zabbix Agent, this template is used. We have two hosts here because we have our Debian and also our Zabbix server. It's also created via that template. So every time when we will use that template, those 43 items will be created. We will see. Memory, CPU, we already saw that in current items status. Yeah, please notice that this is a default interval. We always can change it. It probably, in most cases, it will be good idea to change it, to create new host with the new interval. Once again, so for each host, those items will be created. For each host, also those 15 triggers will be created. What are those? Those are critical values, let's say. So if, for example, hash for etc password will change, we will have alarm with severity information. Every time when memory will be overutilized, we will have average severity alert, and so on and so on. 15 triggers will be created for every Linux host graphs. For every Linux host, we will have those 8 graphs. And once again, jump host, CPU jumps, utilization, memory swap, etc. Once again, 3 dashboards. Those are, you saw that before. File system, network interfaces, all of those on our host was created basing on that template. Next one, discovery rules. This is very important to understand. All those 4, so items, triggers, graphs, and dashboard will be created for particular host, but we have discovery rules. Let's take a look at that. For example, every hour, agent will go to the host and ask them about the new interface. If new interface will be added, for each of new interface, once again, 9 items will be created, 4 prototypes, 1 graph, and 1 graph. So every hour he will reach all devices and try to understand, did somebody change or interface or, for example, file system. And based on that change, he will add additional items and graph, etc., etc. Also, nice thing, it's in Zabbix we can export and import a lot of things using YAML. For example, let's try to export. For example, let's go to the templates and let's export that template. Simple as that. Let's click it, let's open it. Yeah, and we can see our template in YAML. If we want, we can edit it, we can import it back and have it change it. We can use import and export to templates, to host list, to alerts, and a lot of other things. More or less, that's it from the base Zabbix configuration. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks for staying till the end. Remember, if you need our support in designing, implementing, or maintaining infrastructure related to virtualization, remote access, or TrueNAS storage, feel free to contact us. If you don't need our support, but you like what we do, like and subscribe, you know the drill. Meanwhile, we invite you to watch other materials or maybe see you later. Thanks. Bye.